Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another Mindful Monday. So, today is the day after Mother's Day, and I wanted to talk about that and honor that a little bit. The reason why I don't make a big deal about Mother's Day in all of our social media, like a lot of other organizations and people do, is because I understand that there is a wound there for a lot of people, whether it be on the side of those of us who didn't get the mothering that we needed as a child or who have lost our mothers along the way, or for those of us who maybe have lost our children and there is a sense of grief on the mother side of it, or we don't have a good relationship with our mother or our children, or we were unable to have children even though that was a deep desire, or we are raising children who have been separated from their birth mother and we're dealing with that trauma. There's just an endless list of those who suffer on this day, and it's a reminder of that suffering. So, in honor of that, I wanted to take this Mindful Monday to walk through an exercise of self-mothering. So, all that mothering means to us, it's this huge encompassing need for every human being to feel mothered, because mothering equates to love and care and nurturing. So I wanted everyone to walk through this with me. And I want you to begin this exercise by writing down all of the adjectives and things that come to mind when I say mothering. When I use the word mother, what does that mean to you? What does that evoke? Even if you didn't have that experience, if yours was negative, I want you to write down all the positive attributes that you associate with what mothering should be, what mothering can be. So take a minute to start by doing that. Okay, so I'm going to actually pause and give you a minute to grab a pen and paper. And I'm only going to pause for a second, but I want you to push pause on this so that you can complete this portion of the exercise. Okay? Okay, hopefully you took advantage of that. You pushed pause and you came up with your list. And then I wanted to now take a minute to walk through a few things that you can apply to your life to mother yourself. Because we all, as adults, it is now our responsibility to take care of ourselves and to provide that mothering for ourselves. No matter what has happened in our past, it's time for us to do that. And also, before we are able to mother others effectively, we need to be able to do that for ourselves. And for all of the men listening, this also applies to you. So this isn't gender specific. Mothering is typically associated with the feminism, the feminist, but it doesn't need to be that. It can be for men as well. This is not gender specific. We all need mothers. Okay, so the first step that I want you to do is to really listen to how you are feeling. Pay attention to your thoughts and your feelings just like a mother would. To be able to know yourself so well that you are able to take those feelings and those emotions and you're able to listen to them and to care for them in a mothering way. Mothering is the ability to show up for yourself and actively listen and care for those feelings out of love. And then I want you to make your self-care a priority. Think about the way that mothers care for us in the most absolute generous and selfless ways. You need to do that for yourself, making sure that you are eating properly, you're getting quality sleep, and the environment that you are in is peaceful and calm and nurturing and caring. The relationships that you engage in. Think about all the times mothers tell their children to be careful about who they surround themselves with, and they help to curate those relationships that they believe will help their child to be their best selves. You need to do that for yourself as well. You need to make sure that you are setting up those boundaries, and that you are surrounding yourself with the right people for you. And that's going to be different for each of us. The third thing that you need to do to mother yourself completely is to believe in yourself. Think about all the mothers that they wholeheartedly believe in the ability of their children. They know that their child has an innate brilliance inside them. You need to do that for yourself as well. You need to see how incredible you are as a human being through all of your faults, through all of your mistakes. Believe that you are capable, able, beautiful, and loved. The next thing that you need to do to properly mother yourself is to nourish yourself, right? Like, this is real nourishment. You need to make sure that you are not only feeding yourself with nourishing foods, but that you are surrounding yourself with things that nourish your soul. You need to make sure that you are putting yourself in the proper situation that you can flourish and you can grow, that you're getting all of those nutrients that you need to be your best self, and that you're not filling yourself up with things that maybe feel good in the moment but then leave you feeling horrible afterwards. And so this applies to food as well as other things. Excuse me. You need to create that sacred, safe space for yourself. You need to make sure that there is a place that you can retreat to that feels safe and loving, whether that's in your own home, whether that's out in nature somewhere, or literally within yourself. You need to learn to celebrate yourself. It isn't anyone else's responsibility. You need to make sure that you are noticing all of your accomplishments, big and little, and you are celebrating them and celebrating your whole self, telling yourself how proud you are, and taking the time to relish in your accomplishments, as little as they might be. For some people, it's literally just being able to get up and face the world. And that's okay if there are days like that. Celebrate that accomplishment. It was hard, right? Like, it doesn't matter what it was and how it relates to the accomplishment of others. If it was hard for you to do, but you did it anyway, celebrate that. That's amazing. That's wonderful. That's steps forward, and you deserve that pat on the back. And what better person to do it than yourself, who you are stuck with for the rest of your life. Respect your growth and realize that you are on a journey to your best self, and it happens at your own time, your own pace, and everything grows at a different rate. That's what makes our growing season so beautiful. Things bloom and blossom at different times, so there's always beauty around us. Be aware that you are coming to yourself in your own time. It's a journey, it's not a race. We don't all get there at the same time, but that's okay, and you can celebrate others as well as yourself. And use that to encourage yourself and keep track of all of these beautiful celebrations and how far you've come, and encourage yourself to keep going. Realize that you've gone through hard times before, you've gotten through it, and look at your track record and the beauty that has come because you have not given up. And being kind to yourself along the way. Sometimes we are so incredibly cruel to ourselves, and that is not mothering. Mothering is being kind and loving, maybe stern and maybe at times the disciplinarian, but always kind and loving, right? You should not be speaking to yourself in a way that you wouldn't speak to others, or that you would be horrified if someone spoke like that to your friend, your loved one. Make sure that that inner dialogue is loving and motherly. That is, I can't stress how important that is. Catch yourself when you start down a different path. And stick up for yourself. Having boundaries and sticking up for yourself, the way, like we talk about, mama bear coming out, you should be able to do that for yourself, not just for your children, and not expect others to do it for you when you become an adult. You need to be able to do that for yourself. Set boundaries and advocate for yourself, and not allow others to bully you, abuse you, and push you around. So those are my top reflections on mothering and how we can apply that to ourselves. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you apply some of these in your everyday life and know that you are loved, you are cared for, we are mothering you, and I hope that you have a fantastic week ahead.